problem being confusion caused, born as a result of ignorance. The area of confusion is not worldly subject, some worldly object. The confusion is about the reality of oneself, which you must always understand. That is why it is a unique area, an area which has not been tapped up to now. That is the speciality, the visheshata of the knowledge that one is going to gain, which you must always understand. So, any confusion being a product of ignorance, and we saw ignorance being what it has got only one opposite for it, which can remove ignorance, is what is called knowledge. Every area has got its own object of knowledge, which we call Vishayam. When you go to school, children, you ask, what is your Vishaya today in Marathi? English, you will say, what is the subject today? That means you are studying various subjects or Vishayas and you get knowledge of that particular area of Vishaya. And when you gain that knowledge, what happens? That area of ignorance in your intellect has got removed to an extent. To the extent you have learned, to that extent the ignorance has gone away. But if the knowledge is not clear, still you may have a confusion in that area. So wherever knowledge, we say, our Shastra defines, when can you call a knowledge as knowledge? Knowledge should be free from three things. First thing our Shastra says, a knowledge is complete and final only when a knowledge can never be improved upon. Even scientific theories, many things you find, what was propounded once before, later on it gets complained, either somebody improves upon it or it is proved to be not correct. Like a DNA theory, somebody particularly propounded, they themselves came about and said it is something not correct. Like there are how many theories, even they say Einstein's relative theory today, it is something modified today, that's what they say. Like in physics, how many things have undergone change from what it was propounded in olden days. So in this manner, a knowledge always being updated or being changed, such a knowledge is still not final because it has got enough scope for still to be improved upon. Though in our particular world, they are all going by the name knowledge. But when this knowledge we come to, our Shastra says, this knowledge should become abhaditam. Bhada means to improve upon, to falsify, having some limitation. That is called a bhada knowledge, that knowledge. But it should become abhaditam, should never be improved upon. That means it is the final. Another thing is, it is called asandigdham. Sanskrit, if you cannot understand, English I'll give you. It is called asandigdham. Other two words for that is samshaya viparyaya rahitam. Samshaya viparyaya rahitam. That is called asandigdham means what? You should not have vagueness. A knowledge should not have any vagueness, doubt or error. Then only you can claim a knowledge is complete. These three factors are required to say this knowledge is final. And if you see, the knowledge you are going to understand about yourself is final. It has been given by our sages, beginning from Bhagavan. Even today it is the same. Nobody has come forward to improve upon that. And this knowledge will be clear to you only when you are free from doubts, errors, vagueness. That is the type of knowledge you should have. Then only what we are saying will be available to others. It is not at all possible. That is the knowledge that is required here. Why? Problem being ignorance. It is like darkness. And darkness cannot go unless you bring The opposite of darkness called light. You have no choice. Have you got a choice, an option? Why not I do this? Why not I do that? You have got no choice or option. Understand now? So it is a choiceless factor for all of us. Problem being ignorance, and ignorance born confusion. I have no choice but to go for knowledge. You must know. You should not think, why not something else? That's why last time I told you, we don't have different paths, different means and all doesn't have. If you understand what is the problem, then you will never say there is another way for it, another method for it. People think there are methods, but it is not at all available. Why? You must know equal. Have you got a choice, anything other than light to remove darkness? It is just like that. Or to see colors as well as any form. Do you have a choice to use any other means other than your eyes? If you want to see a color for a change, can you use your nose? Because very near the eyes. No? Why not use the nose to see the color? Or use the eyes for a change to know the smell. However, you have got no choice in all this. You must know how it is. These are all the parallels we have got in our life. We give you all these things to understand what we are telling. How even in these areas, we have no choice, no freedom. That I have freedom option to use this, use that, you may do, I will do something. These options are not at all available. That is why it is so tight. It is so tight. Which means clearly, like even if you want to learn physics, you don't have a choice. I will learn chemistry and I will get physics knowledge. Do you get? You don't get. If you want physics knowledge, you have to study physics only. That is, every subject limits itself to its area. One has no option to choose something and think I will get that also. You cannot. That each one of us has to learn every branch, every discipline. Then only we have that knowledge. We don't have. Like this only here. This knowledge is specific, a special area of knowledge, and it must be gained by us. And we have no choice because we have an area of ignorance and ignorance born confusions, misunderstandings, and that area being myself. I have to necessarily pursue this area of knowledge to become free from this area of ignorance plus ignorance born confusion. Why I am talking so much is, unless this is clear, the later things will not be clear. That's why I am again emphasizing. So these are all the things, the method of teaching. You must know. Things must be clear. Then only you should proceed further. Not before that. Now, so what we need is knowledge. Now, whenever we want to gain knowledge, for which Sanskrit we have got different names. One popular name is called, knowledge is called Vidya. I told you. Another name is called Jnanam. These are all prasiddha shabdam, very popular, very much known to everybody. At least in our vernaculars also, they are used, though they are Sanskrit, but this is commonly used in every language. Vidya or Jnana. Two things are always used. Both are one and the same. But when you come to Vedanta, for the sake of a certain thing, over and above Jnanam, we use another word for this knowledge. Which is what I am going to tell, because I have to introduce a particular terminology. For that purpose, I give another name for knowledge in Sanskrit. In English, it is called knowledge. And that itself, in Sanskrit, another word is called Prama. What is the name for knowledge? Another Sanskrit word? Prama. So, with reference to knowledge, Prama, every knowledge has got an object of knowledge, an area of knowledge, I told you. That object of knowledge or the area means the thing to be known, what is to be known. In our Shastra, opposite to Prama is called Prameyam. Very important, keep this word. In Gita, Bhagavan will talk about it. At that time, I will bring it. It is called Prameyam. So, Prama, Prameyam. Now, next is what is the knowledge for whom? Every knowledge is gained by someone. That is what we call knower. There it is called jnata, veta. All these words are there. The knower is called jnata. If it is jnanam, we call it as jnata. If it is speaker, you call vakta. These are all Sanskrit. Like that, if it is knowledge to be gained, the knower, the gainer of knowledge is called as jnata there. So here you have to say pramata. So prameyam, pramata. Now there is one more word which is what I want to introduce. For any knowledge that you want to gain, we need a means of knowledge. That is why it is called karanam, otherwise called instrument of knowledge. Little technical. You may say these people don't talk all the thing in college and all. But here we need it. That's why we have to talk about it. And it is called karanam generally. Karanam means what? Instrument of knowledge. Otherwise called means for knowledge. The sadhanam, karanam, the instrument, the means. For which relatively, because prameyam, pramata, prama, so we use a corresponding word for that is called pramanam. So the means of knowledge is called pramanam. So what are the things required? Pramata, pramanam, prameyam, prama, ultimate. So first the knower, understand. Then the instrument of knowing, means for knowing, the object of knowing, knowledge. Finally, net result, knowledge. If this is understood, we will proceed seeing things in the world, then we will come back to our subject. A little technical, we have to talk because it is very much essential. As it is, we are all gaining knowledge in this world. As I have told you, it is something very much essential for all we human beings. We already seen that. And all our area of knowledge, one way if you see, it is something other than yourself. Very important, note all these things. All the area of knowledge we gain in this world, all in colleges, here, there, so many places, even in many of the scriptural knowledge, in our Puranas, in various types of places, every knowledge is something other than yourself, including if it is a Bhagavan like Brahmaji, Vishnu, Shankara, Ganesha, Devi, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni. So many people we know, we hear, we study, they are all not you. Are they any one of you? Like even you are studying so many subjects in the world. Are you Mars or Jupiter? Or Sun or Moon? Or electrons or neutrons or protons? Are you electricity? Are you chemicals? What are you? All subjects we learn. Even when they learn knowledge, medicine, when they learn medicine, they see the body, anatomy, blood. So many things they say. Are you any one of them? When you read the heart, when you know particularly, open, dissect the body and see inside what is there. When you are knowing that, are you that? So if you see in this world, entire field of knowledge in this world, used in our Shastra is called Vishayak Jnanam. The entire field of knowledge is called Vishayak Jnanam. Its English is called objective knowledge. Other is called objective science. Why objective? Objective you say? Because it is objectively gained. Means what? This or that. This is the major portion of knowledge we all human beings are going through, studying, spending our life all the while. Everything is in that only. Whether it is mathematics, whether it is engineering, whether it is science, whether it is that, this, varieties and varieties are going on today. So many knowledges, I tell you. Even all the computer engineering, that, electronics, anything you go. They are all what? Are they any one of you? Are you electronics? You are not electronics. Hence, they all come under the category called object. That is why with reference to object, you must know you are called subject, mean knower. Subject is not the Vishayam here. When it is object, opposite is subject. That is why in Sanskrit, if you go, Prathama Vibhakti is what there? Nominative case, you will say. So these are all the things there you must know particularly. The person is called, the particular one who knows, that person is called Prathama Vibhakti. Always it goes, particularly. That is why Tritiya is called Karanam. Karta, Karma, Kriya. You must know all these things are there, so many things. So that condition being there, the subject is always in the nominative case. The object is the second case, that in English is called objective case. The instrument through which you gain or do anything is called Tritiya. That is what always use the instrumental case. Karanam. Called Karanam. So thus, these three things are always there with reference to knowledge when we gain, when the knowledge is something objective. And every objective knowledge depends on the means of knowledge. And for the means of knowledge to take place, three factors are very much essential. First of all, you, the one who wants to gain knowledge, should be there. Second thing, the object of knowledge should be there. Third thing is the means of knowledge, which is right and proper, should be operated. Then the knowledge will take place. For example, if there is an object called just a pond, called marker. If somebody doesn't know what is marker, even if it is lying in front of you, you may see it, but still, because the marker cannot introduce itself, "Nee kon maite ka?" It doesn't say. So you may keep on looking at it, but never you don't know, though you are seeing. That's a mere seeing doesn't become knowledge. So in areas like this only, we need a tutor, an introducer, an informer, a person who can give you knowledge. That is a books are in front of you, some characters are written for children or everybody. That is why we need somebody to come and tell you how to read it, what it is, what is the meaning. So many things are required. Eyes are there, but because mere eyes are there and the book is there, knowledge doesn't. So that is why this aspect of teacher is very much essential. Once you have got some basic knowledge, later on you may, without a teacher, try to say independent study. You may do. But you cannot from the beginning start independent study. Is not at all possible for anyone. Anyone. It is not at all possible. Though we may have means of knowledge, instrument of knowledge is there, objects are there, we need someone who can reveal it to you. And that person should be who? Who knows already what it is. That's why we saw who can be a teacher in any area. One who has already gained the knowledge of what is to be taught. Otherwise, everybody cannot be the teacher. That's why here also we saw, for giving the knowledge of this, the person who can give, that person should have already got the knowledge of that. Means what? Should have understood the reality about oneself, which is called freedom from all limitations. One should have recognized the limitlessness of oneself. Otherwise, one cannot be able to reveal that to you, because the person themselves have not, himself has not understood, or herself has not understood. So how can you tell? But then, how did that person get? What means you operate? What are the souls of it? How it was got? We have to come to that. And there again, do you have an option for that? You may get it through something. I will get through something. Do you have? It is not there. But merely telling that is not sufficient, but it must be substantiated. Then only you all will accept. Otherwise, you are all brainwashing us. It will happen. It should not be. That means in the corner of your buddhi, intellect, there should not be a thinking, I think we can resort to some other means. There is another way we can get it. Such a thinking should not be there. For this purpose, this discussion is being taken up. So when it comes to objective knowledge also, as even we saw, to see an object like pot, first of all what is required is a valid means called an eye free from defect in vision. You may have an eye, but the eye has got some defect or total blindness. So even though pot is in front of you, will you be able to see the pot? It may be a very big pot, not a small pot. Big pot, but your eyes have got defects, you cannot. But eyes are there, perfect, there is no light at all, full darkness. Or pot is there, eyes are there, but pot is somewhere far away. Then also you will not be able to see, because our eyes, they have got a limitation that it can only see when things fall within a particular range. Beyond a certain range, our eyes cannot see. For such things only, you are using aids like binoculars, telescopes, and so many things. And modern days, many scopies and other things have come, scanning, so many things they have brought. Because our eyes by themselves cannot see, so they need certain aid, using which we can see something which otherwise cannot be seen. That means, though objects are there, means called our eyes for seeing objects and colors are there, next required is they must be within a range or scope. Like when you want to take a photograph, that's why you want the object you want to particularly photograph must fall within a scope, a range. Beyond the range, best cameras also cannot. That's why they put zoom, they put so many things, but in spite of all of them, at a difference further, it cannot capture it. It will not be able to do. So this is all the things we must know. That means what is the factor? Object must be there, the light must be there for our eyes to see the object, colors, anything. The eyes must be very clear, without defect. Another thing required is a mind and intellect backing it. All things may be there, sitting here, I am talking so many things, but if your mind is thinking of something else, called your house, or your office, or some other problems of yours, you are sitting here, physically you are present, but mentally, intellectually, you may be somewhere. Hence, whatever I say may not go enter inside. That is why in our English you will say, technically, there is no alignment. What is required is, technically, alignment is. When you put a screw in a hole, if it has to go, if there is a hole further, alignment should be there. In between something is obstructing. So that's why all the holes must be in alignment. Like that, our ear is the entrance point for any knowledge in the form of sound. Another place, the place is called mind. And the mind should be aligned with the intellect. And when all the three are together, then only finally one receptivity goes on. That is why in all, particularly tape recorder, in the radio, so many places, unless things happen in the fine tuning properly, no receptivity takes place, no broadcasting transmission takes place. These are all various technical things we all see. Similarly, here also, simple technique is that the right equipment that is there should fall within the range of that area of knowledge. Mind must be backing there. The intellect also should be attentive away. If all these conditions are fulfilled, then a unit of knowledge will, thus for the entire field of knowledge, we have at our disposal already provided by whoever is the creator, whom we call God. Like an equipment you buy, tape recorder, many mechanisms you buy, the manufacturer provides various provisions for you to use them. To particularly gain whatever you want to accomplish, the provisions are made in various types of equipments you manufacture. In the car, varieties are provided. In a mixie, varieties are provided. In a TV, things are provided. Like varieties of equipments you buy, various provisions are there for which it can be used, and you can gain so many things, achieve, accomplish many things. Why I am using all these things? Because even a housewife knows all these things today. Once upon a time, all the things were not known because in our houses, varieties of electrical gadgets are being told, electronic things are being used, and every house even today has got computer and so many things I tell you. So that is why these drishtantas or udaharanas are popularly can be used. Olden days it may not be possible. So we use all of them to communicate, just to communicate what we want to say. That's all. So thus, here we have got areas of knowledge where we are gaining, which is objective knowledge. The field of knowledge is that. And for the whole world, our Shastra says the whole world is reduced to 5 areas. We will see later when we will discuss everything. That is why technically in our Shastra, the whole world is called Prapancha. In Maharashtra, samsara is called Prapancha. But then in our Shastra, the Prapancha, the word is for the world. The world is called Prapancha. Why? Because it is pentamerous. It is 5-folded. All 5-folded. Hence it is called as Prapancha. That means our Shastra reduces the world as 5 only. Everything is 5. We will see more and more. And because they found there is only 5, they provided 5 sources of gaining knowledge. And that is called Pancha Indriyas, which is technically more we will see called Jnana Indriyas. Instruments for gaining knowledge, means of knowledge, which everybody knows, the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the nose, the tongue, and the sense of touch. These 5 of them are we use for gaining varieties of knowledge. Details will come to later. So, plus they have been given in such a way, every knowledge, where does it take place? We all know any knowledge has to take place. There is only one area, and that area is called buddhi, other is called intellect. People may other use brain, they will say. So varieties of names are there for them. That means all these things are to be proper. That's why eyes are okay. But when the mind and intellect is not alright, that's why mentally deranged people. World is there, eyesight is very good. But the buddhi is not working. Like our tape recorder, externally very nice. Everything nice and polished. Everything okay. But when you press the particular tape, is very good tape, imported variety put. Current is coming. But when you press the particular recorder, it doesn't go inside. Then what will happen? Or you press it, the motor doesn't move. It is recording go on. That means one thing becoming alright is not sufficient. Unless the entire area is perfect, the final product, whatever has to come, will not be possible at all. You have got a mic in front of you. This is very nice speaker or particularly that amplifier. But if that particular machine there, if it is not working, mere this presence will not do anything. I may say anything, but sometimes it may not be audible to people. That means for any function to take place and the result to come, whatever things are required, they all have to fall in line. That is called alignment is very much essential. If this alignment is not there, in spite of effort, things may not happen. That is why many times if our mind is not available, it is preoccupied, then you will find you don't understand. Afterwards you are somewhere and somebody laughs suddenly and you are preoccupied somewhere, then you say, why you are all laughing? What did he say? No, you never heard. So you are present there. Then everything becomes alright. Similarly, between our eyes and ears, the mind connection is not there. You find you see, you may not see. You hear, you may not hear. That's why if you are busy talking while eating, you might have eaten some very nice thing. How was it? What you are asking, how was it? You just now ate, no? What is that? I made a nice sweet and gave you. Sir, you gave it? I have eaten? The fellow doesn't know. Why? Though it had come to my mouth and gone inside, I was very busy talking and doing anything. I don't know what I have eaten. To this extent we are all. This is what you say absent-minded. You have got words for all this. That is why preoccupation. When your mind and intellect is preoccupied somewhere, in spite of being physically present, things you will not understand, you will not know. These are all the things that generally happens in our life. So even for the gross worldly knowledge, even though you may call it subtle, sukshmam, like atom, all these varieties of things that are there in our Shastra, anything that is objectifiable directly or through instruments or anything, including a thought, including a pain, anything that is there, they are all considered to be object. Everything is object. And for this objective worldly knowledge, these instruments are available. And whenever you use them and gain the knowledge, that is called knowledge through direct perception. Very important to know. In Sanskrit or in our vernaculars, this method of gaining is called pratyaksha. Maharashtra always you say, me pratyaksha bagitla. Means I personally saw directly, saw. Or dole pude disla. These are all the expressions you have got. Or English, I saw with my own eyes. That's why technically called eyewitness. In language of legal, it is called eyewitness. Thus, all our knowledge's major portion, a powerful means, is called pratyaksham. So, all our instruments in their respective field are called means for this knowledge through pratyaksha pramanam. I am bringing the word pramanam. Pratyaksha pramanam means what? For those areas where you can gain knowledge through direct perception. Like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling. They all give us varieties of knowledge which are all directly gained by perception. Every mean is called perception. What you call pratyaksham in our Shastra in English is called, what is pratyaksham is called? Perceptive means of knowledge. Gain through perception. As a matter of fact, all our means of knowledge or any knowledge we gain, they all fall under this category. Whether it is college, whether it is here or general, anything we gain, everything falls under the category called this particularly pratyaksham, perceptive knowledge. That's all we are having majority. As a matter of fact, 100% of the knowledge we have, it is all by this means only through perception, pratyaksham direct. And naturally, what is the area? It is the area something other than. That is why they are called objective science, objective knowledge, or called Vishaya Jnanam. So with reference to that, that is Vishayam, you are called Vishayi. Vishayam, Vishayi, you are. Now, other than this knowledge, which is direct knowledge, Pratyaksham, now based on this, we have got knowledges which we generally bring on one category. In English, we can call it inferential knowledge. All comes under inferences. But any inference depends on direct perception. No inference can be independent. No inference can be independent by itself. I'll come to all of them one by one. And this inferential knowledge further is called fourfolded. The inferential way of gaining knowledge, our Shastra discusses in fourfolded way. I'll give you the thing, then come to the example one by one. The four of them. Vernacular corresponding English. In vernacular Sanskrit and other places, you also use Hindi, they use, it is called first Anumana. Anumana is what? To infer. That's why first thing that is called is Anumana. Next is called particularly Upamana. It's called Upama, illustrate, Udaharana, Drishtanta. These are all the other words you have got, which is called Upamana. So, Anumana, Upamana. The third one is called Arthapatti. Arthapatti, which is called deduction. Arthapatti in English is called deduction. That's called detectives and all, understand? Many things, deduction. And finally, it is called Anupalabdhi. Upalabdhi, you know, all of you, Maharashtra. Upalabdha. and you put a negative, anupalabdhi means what? Not available. That is also a knowledge, a means. That is knowledge of a thing being non-existent. These are the four which are all coming under the category called inference. Otherwise they are called secondary or indirect means of knowledge. You call it, either you call it as inferential, otherwise call it indirect means of knowledge or secondary means of knowledge. Now we will go one by one. What is anumana? Simple anumana, if you know, if two people know code language, so many things are there in this world where you use this anumana, which is called by code. If somebody comes outside and you can see now, you need not see anything. Certain horn you hear, you will say this is a scooter. Another one you will say this is auto rickshaw. You are not seeing anything. Third one you will say this is car. There are children, I tell you. They can know particular these days by certain thing. They say which car. Somebody was telling me recently that person's grandson is there. Young boy, hardly 2 years old or 3 years old. The fellow is so much informed about cars. And sitting in his house, in their parking area, one car started. This is particularly Maruti 800 is going, he says. Another car has started. This, he says, particularly now Indica car is going, he says. They are telling this fellow is able to say, and you go check up, same car is going. This is called anumana. How do you do? Only by hearing. These are called engineers. Some drivers are there. They are driving the car. You are sitting in the car. Suddenly they tell you, the door is not closed, please close it. But you don't get any sound. There is sound, but they know which door is not closed. But you and I sitting cross, we don't know what is that. Like this, so many inferences are there particularly. These are all the things that goes on. This is called symptomatic way of gaining knowledge. Doctors do that only. Doctors infer only. From one condition they infer something else. These are all the things that is done. So major portion of our learning is through inference also. So this is called listening to somebody. Some people have got, come outside and some blow the horn. So and so has come, you will say. Did you see? No. The horn tells me so and so has come. Each car has got a special type of horn. This car belongs to so and so. And the time is also so and so. So I say so and so has come. When people come home, between the husband and wife, there is a code. When I come, I'll ring this way. So you know who has come. But when somebody else comes, they don't know this code. So you know somebody else has come, not the husband. This is also an inference. We go varieties, I tell you. From one direct perception means unless you hear the bell, unless you hear the horn, you cannot say what. So that means, first of all, you should have had direct perceptive knowledge to gain inferential knowledge. Otherwise, it is not at all possible. So that means inferential knowledge also falls within the category called objective knowledge. The next one we go. What is that? Is called illustration, udaharana or upamana. That is why Kalidasa was considered to be the best fellow, nothing equal to him, Upama Kalidasasya. There is nobody to beat Kalidasa in giving Upama, illustrations. So always we teach, children are taught through illustrations. Initially, illustrative method of teaching. That one method of teaching is that. Understand? Even what is particularly experiments in the laboratory, practicals, they are all that only. Initially theory, then goes particularly there. So illustration is through one thing you recognize something. That is why generally the example in our Shastra is, if you know the forest buffalo, which is called bison, when you hear the word bison itself, today children know because all books and all come, they know. Otherwise, you and me in the olden days, you listen the word bison. What is it? Is it pumpkin or something? You'll ask it. But now we know it is a buffalo type particular animal which is available in the forest, certain forest, India or in North America, they are very much available. So one fellow comes and told a village man, I went there, I saw a bison. What is bison? That's why he asked, is a pumpkin or some vegetable or anything? No, it is an animal. What animal it is? Then that fellow says, you know our buffaloes. It is something like that. Only thing is, they are little longer, lean. And sometimes their horn is straight or like ours. So, this is called bison. So, I have not seen bison, but I have got an idea of bison. Or you go somewhere and you can give lot of description and make the fellow understand as though I have seen it. That is also called descriptive or illustrative method of this called through upama. We always can gain knowledge, but when I go there next time I can confirm it because I have already got second-hand knowledge. Now it becomes direct. So this is another. But for this knowledge, what is necessary? You should have had a direct perception because the thing that is particularly compared with, you must know. A buffalo is what it. If I don't know buffalo also, I cannot give buffalo as an example to you. Always examples are known to make you understand something you don't. So that is one method of gaining knowledge called illustration. Other is called upama. Next is called particularly that which is called arthapatti. This arthapatti is not popularly known, but you know it is called detective field. Is called deduction. From data available, I deduce. This is what many places it is there. Investigations are like that. From these data, we deduce this much. We will give in our Shastra, simple example is given. They say there was one fellow called Devadatta. And this Devadatta, they looked at this fellow. In Sanskrit, it says Pinaha. Pinaha means Zada. The fellow is so fat. But another fellow who is introducing this Devadatta to his friend says, you know, this is Mr. Devadatta. But you know something about him? He doesn't eat at all. This is all the introduction he says. This fellow doesn't eat at all. But he looked at this fellow, 180 kilos. Like the Japanese fellows, you know, who do particularly boxing and all. This particularly kusti like. This fellow is like that. And he says, this fellow doesn't eat at all. Then he says, understood now. When everybody is awake, this fellow doesn't eat. So nobody sees this fellow eating. So our friend all the time is with him during waking stage. He doesn't see him eating. So he is right by telling he never eats. But you have to add, doesn't eat by day. But when everybody sleeps, this fellow compensates. How do you see? Because from his health, you can see if he doesn't eat, he cannot be like this. So if he is not eating when all of us eat, he must be eating some other time when we are all sleeping. Compensate the whole thing, and then whole day don't eat. Like all the Muslims do in their roja. During the Ramzan period, they don't eat during daytime. When sun sets means they compensate. So like that, this is called deduction. By looking at this fellow, I can understand one thing, the fellow must be eating very well. Otherwise you cannot be so healthy. And the fellow makes a statement, he doesn't eat. So if he is not eating, so I add one more, doesn't eat by day, but must be eating this called deduction. Understand it, sir? But for this, what is necessary? One information that this fellow doesn't eat. But at the same time, the person is available for you to see. Then you understand there is something truth in what this fellow says. What? The fellow doesn't eat by day. Correct. But eats by everything over. Then finally is what is called as anupalabdhi. Means knowledge of a thing being absent. If somebody I ask, do you see a pot in my hand? Means matka. What all of you will say? There is no pot. But how do you say? Because we know what is pot. And if there is a pot in your hand, we should see. However big or small, we should see it. That means this is a knowledge of absence of something. You say, you go and see whether somebody so-and-so is there, that person is there. You go and come and say the person is not there. When can you say? You should already know the person. Otherwise you cannot say. Because a person who doesn't also say, I don't know, nobody is there. But a person may be there, but you don't know whether it is the same person. That means to say a person is not there, a thing is not there, you should already know the thing. To say it is absent. These are all called indirect means of knowing. All these indirect means of knowing have a dependence on direct. And where does pratyaksham operate? Pratyaksham operates only in the field of object. And wherever objective knowledge comes, I am someone other than the. I hope you are getting what I am trying to drive at. That is why I told you, though we have gained a lot of knowledge, going through college and here and there, reading varieties of books, but we have got plenty of knowledge. In which area? Area something other than ourselves. Even whatever area of knowledge you think you have got, you will see later, they also fall under the category called object, which you will come to. At present, just only understand. That also, if you just think, they all fall under the category called object. Hence, all the means that are available at our disposal, provided by the Creator, though they are very powerful, they are very capable of giving you knowledge, they have their own limitations, and they cannot be the valid means, the right means for gaining the knowledge that we have to gain. Independently, they cannot do anything. Because here the knowledge is about yourself. Like even your eyes can see everything else. Can your eyes see itself? Many things we cannot see with our eyes. Can you see your back with your eyes? You will say, yes, Swamiji. If I go and stand in front of a mirror, and you should have parallel mirror that side, then I can see my back also. But without all this aid, can you see your back? Many people die without seeing their back, I tell you. And if there were no mirrors, you would have never seen our face also, I tell you. Because there are particularly mirrors available, we can see our face. Understand itself. Otherwise, our eyes have got their own limitations. That is why our Shastra says, though all the means that are at our disposal for gaining knowledge, we have been gaining plenty of knowledge in this world, whether it is secular or sacred, varieties knowledge we have gained, they all fall under the area called Vishaya Jnanam. Or this itself, a technical word I am using now, is called Dvaita Vidya, Dvaita Jnanam. They all fall under the category called Dvaita Vidya, Dvaita Jnanam, or Veda Jnanam, Veda Jnanam, which itself I told you earlier, which is what another way technically we call Apara Vidya. 3 words I used: Dvaita Vidya, Dvaita Jnanam, Apara Vidya, or Veda Jnanam. All these things. What do you mean by all these things? They are all something other than anything that I know in this world. Up to now I have known everything is what which is other than me. Any doubt in that? You should think well. All the knowledge we have gained is only things other than ourselves. So because the entire world is not me. World is something, another thing. I am someone other than the world. And our entire knowledge is in the field of the world only. And we are spending our life and on this. And that is why we had no occasion to come across this area called ours. That's why I told you in the beginning, there is no college for that. And there is no degree for that. And gaining that degree, I don't know whether I'll get a job also. That is why that is not available. Understand itself. Since for this particular knowledge, which is about the reality of yourself, you have to resort to take the help of another special means of knowledge, and that means of knowledge is in our Shastra we call as Vedanta. So it is called Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. that which is referred as Upanishads, which is otherwise called Vedanta, is the Pramanam. Pramanam means what? Means of instrument which will give rise to knowledge. About what? About the reality of ourselves. Otherwise for Atma Vidya, Atma Jnanam, Tattva Jnanam, Brahma Vidya. That means, have you got a choice? The question is that. That is why it is equal like you have no choice or option to use your eyes to hear sound. Do you have a choice? Why should I go to particularly Vedanta? Already see it. Because I am not falling under the category called object in the world. Because entire world is what? Already asked a question. Entire world falls under what category? Object. And with reference to that, who are you? Yes. But all the thing available is under which field? Object. That is why you should not think arbitrarily we are going to Vedanta when there are other options available for us. We have no other options. Like even you don't have an option to use any instrument for one thing or the other. Sound means I have no option. I have to use my ears only. Taste means only the tongue. Very near. Why not the nose taste my food? It cannot. You must understand. Similar is the necessity for us to study what you are going to study. If the area of knowledge is what we are saying called the reality. What is the reality? That what you are seeking is already your reality. And what are you seeking? To be a limitless person. To be a free person. Limitations from wants. From any sort of sufferings and sorrows and unhappiness. I want to be free. That is called limitless. Which I want. And I want to gain that. What is the means available for me? All other means available, they are not. That is why science and scientific instruments are not for our use. In this area, please. We all must understand. Science is progressing. So much progressing, I tell you. They are inventing new gadgets, new things. These, that, so many things. That's all sorts of particularly things which we use for seeing. Scopies have come, scanning has come, that has come, this has come, which otherwise, when do you use? When you are directly, your eyes cannot see. With their help, I see. So many things have come. Science has advanced so much. Sitting here through a telescope, you can see something, even a particular planet you can see, which otherwise you cannot do. But even though you do, they all fall under what category? Object. And who will see? Somebody one like you and me. Or everybody can see. If one person can see, everybody can see. And once somebody sees, automatically it becomes, it cannot be given the status of something. Understand? Hence, this knowledge area is something very, very unique, very peculiar, very special. Why this must be known is, that is why when you study this, don't be carried away. What is great about it? So much knowledge is there in the world. What is great about this knowledge? When we can gain so much knowledge, this is one of them we will gain. Don't be overconfident like this. And don't be carried away. What is the great about it? This is also what type of knowledge. Don't go away. This is something very special, very rare. And that is why its method of unfolding is different. Method of gaining is different. All these things must be clearly understood. So thus, we have come to a stage that since all other means go available, since they are not capable of helping me in gaining this knowledge, I have no other choice but to resort to take the help of the means of knowledge called Pramanam, which is nothing but our scripture, which we call Vedanta. Now, next class will be what is Vedanta, what are the conditions that is there. With that, our introduction will come to an end mostly. or maybe one more class I will take. Then we will enter into the direct text and all. We will Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti